The Jupyter Notebook is an open source web application that allows you to create and share documents that contain live code, equations, visualizations, videos, animations, and text. Uses include data analysis, numerical simulation, statistical modeling, machine learning, and much more. A large community of scientists and software engineers are working continually to improve Jupyter. It is estimated that over 1 million scientists and engineers use Jupyter Notebooks. Many companies, such as Google, IBM, and Microsoft, offer an environment for creating and running notebooks. So let's discuss the features that make our efforts unique. There are several simple ways to download and run Jupyter on a Linux, Mac, or Windows computer. However, there are hundreds of Jupyter extensions and thousands of scientific software packages. Jupyter itself is changing quickly, and sometimes older notebooks no longer run. So you quickly end up in a situation where your old notebooks don't run, and you cannot easily share notebooks with others because they may not have the same version of the notebook or the same packages installed. We include a large library of scientific tools and packages. This library can be customized for each hub to contain domain-specific libraries. For example, a chemistry hub would have a bunch of chemistry-related packages. These are all available for every user to use in their notebook, and notebooks can be easily shared among other hub users. Periodically, we will update the software environment with the latest packages. However, the old environment is preserved, and notebooks published for that environment will continue to run using it. Publishing your notebook allows others to run it and modify a copy for their own use. By publishing it, others will be able to find your work with a search engine, and they can cite your work. The notebooks run in a hub environment, and they have full access to the databases, tools, and simulations on that hub. You can even write a notebook that runs a tool, analyzes the output, and uses that as the input to another tool. The notebook format is great for teaching, exploring, documenting, publishing workflows, and more, but sometimes you want a more traditional application where there are no code cells, just a simple user interface where the user sets some inputs, clicks on a button, and computations are performed and the outputs are updated. We have a way to publish tools like this using Jupyter, and we will demonstrate that later. This is an example of a published notebook. When it is loaded, it's not running. You have to manually step through it, clicking on the Run button, or you can hit Shift Enter or Control Enter to run each cell. So we finally get down to the plot function here, and we plot our results, and they look good. But we'd like to do more, so we want to interact with this function. So we call it the Interact function. Run that, and now we get some sliders, and we can use these sliders to adjust the inputs for that function and see how it affects the output plot. Now this notebook was written so it can be easily converted to a tool, and all we have to do is click on this layout, and we'll use a grid layout. Now I've already done this. I laid it out so it looks reasonable. I've hidden the things I don't want to see, and I can preview that by clicking on this preview button. And here's our slider. Everything still works. So we have our sliders and everything. And if that looks good, then we can go ahead and publish that. So I will show you what that looks like next. So we've taken that notebook and published it as a tool. And we're going to launch that tool now from the hub. The code is exactly the same. We've just set a flag to tell the hub to run it in tool mode instead of notebook mode. As you can see, it looks exactly like the way it did in the preview mode, but there's no longer a menu bar or any way to go back and edit this or run or do anything but run the program. And so it works just like it did before. Finally, we're going to take a look at a simple demo showing how easy it is to build a simple GUI that loads and visualizes molecules and proteins. This is just another notebook that uses the tool mode like the previous one. Okay, so we can toggle some buttons, change some of these inputs, and then get another visualization here. This is interactive. You can zoom in, zoom out. You can even double click on it and go to full screen mode. And all of this is just developed from a Jupyter notebook.